Hey guys, Chris here with Work to Game, and today it is time to pick your army for Warhammer 40k. Now perhaps you've already picked up your main rulebook, maybe you even got it out of a Dark Imperium set, but ultimately you are wondering, now I'm interested in getting started, how do I find which index to get? Because there's several. There's a Chaos index, there's multiple Xenos indexes, there's even Imperium indexes, and you may have one of the armies that actually already has an 8th edition codex out at the time you're watching this video. They're kind of releasing those in stages, and so if you don't, the index is your guide. And so with that, how do you decide which one to go for? And the simple answer is start by just deciding which army you like the looks of. There's a lot of armies to choose from. Within those armies, there's a lot of different varieties, different, even within Chaos, there's like 4 different gods. There's different forms of Eldar, Dark Eldar, and all of that. So I would go over to the GW site and I would take a look through their model lines. Once you find maybe 2 or 3 armies that you like the look of, go ahead and just Google those armies and see what other players look like, what their armies look like. And so you can Google things like, 40k army such and such, or actually there's a painting competition called Golden Demon, and sometimes if you put in an army name in Golden Demon you can see some really cool inspiring ideas. And so once you have it down to maybe 1 or 2 armies, I would go and look for a battle report somewhere here on YouTube and just see if you like how they play. It doesn't matter win or loss because not all battle reports are a fair example of that army as a whole. Every game there's a winner and a loser, so I wouldn't worry about that so much as making sure that you like, just how it plays. Is it a horde army where there's a lot of models on the table? Is it kind of a low model count army where there's just 30 or 40 guys and they're all super epic and you can pretty much name each individual guy because there's just not that many of them? And that's really it. If you focus heavily on wins, you would want to go look up grand tournaments and things like that. There's some big tournaments to look at, such as the Nova Open or the Boise Grand Tournament right now is getting a lot of confirmation because it's one of the handful that have already happened in 8th as of this recording. And so you can go look at those and you can see certain armies rise to the top, but they're running very specialized lists and they know exactly how those lists work. And the moment that a new codex comes out or a new FAQ comes out, that list could be utterly trash compared to what that guy is going to go out and buy for next time. And so that's ever changing. And so you're kind of setting yourself up for possible disappointment if you're only caring about winning. That being said, there are certain armies that are known for being kind of towards the bottom in years of late, and there's ones towards the top. And so if you are okay changing armies every few years, you could look at the meta, talk to people at your local store, and get a feel for that. I personally look at the personalities behind an army, so I look at kind of the narrative, how did that army come to be, and by the time you look at the narrative and how the models are, GW is surprisingly accurate in how that's going to play. When you read the narrative of like orcs just overwhelm the enemy and they actually kind of spawn like spores on a planet, and then you look at their models and they're all just chaos and just stuff just looks like it's all ramshackled together, you kind of get the impression that you're going to have just this tide of green washing across the table with really no plan other than overwhelming force and just chaotic nature. And that is kind of orcs. So with that said, it really doesn't matter what army you play, just that you're excited to play it. You're going to spend a decent amount of money on these models. You're going to spend a huge amount of time working with them, looking at them, painting them, buying them, assembling them. And so you need to like the way they look. Because honestly, if you're not excited to put your models on the table and you're not excited every time somebody walks by and asks you what something is or says something looks cool, then you probably didn't find the right army. As soon as you've picked an army, then the next step is to buy their rules. And that is the index or the codex. And codexes are a little more specialized. This one is just Chaos Space Marines. And within that, sometimes you even get specialty codexes that come out, like the Death Guard Codex that's released, which is really kind of a subset of Chaos Space Marines. It has a couple of units that are not in here, but for the most part, it's just taking the Nurgle aspects of this and focusing on that. And so they get their own unique stratagems, which are like these unique little rules you can use only for your army, and things like, it goes over just units that are unique to maybe just your codex, where you're the only people that really get access to that. You'll see things like common weapons and things like that across multiple codexes, so you do start to get a feel for it. Don't think for a second that you're going to have to like, oh my gosh, how am I going to memorize what everybody else's stuff does? but it really does go into great detail about what yours do. It'll offer suggested paint schemes, it'll offer all kinds of stuff when you actually get the proper codex. So if you are running off an index, look forward to getting one of these, and don't think just because you have all your stat panes that you don't want to pick this up when it comes out. You definitely will. It's definitely worth it. So that's really it for this week. It's just focusing on kind of now what army do I want to play, and it's really easy to think like I know for a fact the 2 or 3 armies that I would play if I wasn't already playing Chaos, and so there's a lot worth getting excited about. There's another site called Forge World, which is like a subset of GW, and it's just their specialty lines, and they have these higher priced models that have even cooler things they can do on the table. And so sometimes it's cool to go look at Forge World versions of your models, because they not only release new units there, but they'll actually sometimes just re-release stuff you already have in your primary army with a cooler, more detailed look in trade for a cooler, more detailed price tag. So definitely just get out there and look at Google, look at YouTube videos, look at painters' blogs. You don't have to plan on being good at painting to enjoy knowing what it could look like, what the professional painters are doing. It's pretty awe-inspiring, and so I definitely can spend a lot of free time looking at other people's armies. So with that, that's really it this week. I hope you guys are having an awesome week, and I hope you're looking forward to these videos every single week here on Work to Game. And I'm going to be trying to do that at least for a little bit of time here until I feel like I've kind of got everybody caught up with what this hobby is. So go out there and Google and see what army you'd pick. If you've already picked an army, if you already play this game, definitely let me know in the comments below kind of what you're playing, what you're enjoying. I would love to hear from you. This is Chris with Work to Game, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, it's me. Thanks so much for watching this video. You should click over here to see more videos just like it, or you should click down here to check out our recent vlog. But you can also click somewhere down here below to hit the subscribe button, as well as check out our other info. Again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.